The Warriors or the Vici. Of course, Vici do not have anything like Warriors in their name, but they are still Vici Gaming that we know and love in the LPL, and they are behind. They need your support. They need your cheers. Welcome back. My name is XiaoYao. This is Brento Raz Muhammad. I don't know what you're going to say, but I hope it's something good.
That visual always scares me because you're just flying at a tower and you're like, ah, stop it! It reminds me of most of my nightmares. You just wake up at the most crucial time.
You're having some weird nightmares, man. One of the best visions that actually we have here as well when we go to Beijing, when we look at the Forbidden City as well. I always like the Forbidden City. Yeah, I went in there and, you know, it's not really so forbidden anymore, is it?
No, it's definitely not.
Rich history behind it, though. It's actually fantastic. We do have some good shots here. We have some good games here as well. And I will say that in the first game, it was a great game for Rogue Warriors, Raz.
Yeah, Rogue Warriors, I think their greatest strength was the fact that they focused pretty heavily on their early game lanes. The lanes were picked to win, and that's exactly what they did. HuaTian, as of late, has been doing well versus pretty difficult lane matchups, and at the same time, very hard laners. I think he's just been performing. Last time he went up against Xiaohu, and Xiaohu wasn't able to put him in a major deficit. And on top of that, he actually dealt with a lot in that specific series, because in game one, he got, you know, poppy diving him.
Yep.
There was the early gank that he had. I think that he's dealing with pressure quite easily. And so a lot of my initial concerns with how he was just dying so frequently in the first 3 weeks was the fact that it probably can just go to nerves, right? When you pick up a new player and they haven't seen play, oftentimes like they haven't seen any play on the Premier League, you're like, what are we getting at? Are we going to get what we saw in scrim times and in the LDL, or are we going to get someone completely different? And I thought the first 3 weeks was hard for him. He rejuvenated, took some time off, had Kongmin come in a few games, and we got to see the real HuaTian, and I'm liking it.
That's right. HuaTian has come through a couple of champions as well. Lissandra and the Syndra look like his best at the moment. Confident game there from the mid laner of Rogue Warriors, but also from the jungle. XiaoYao picks up the MVP in game one, and his early pathing, his denial with help for Vision there.
Boom!
100% kill participation, that's why.
100% all the time. Can keep playing this person, please.
Yeah.
Please. I like what XiaoYao gives you. I think the early pressure that it's so rare that we end up seeing him play. The last time around, I remember his Olaf play was nice. Extra pressure early. The only problem I saw in that time was his inability to really gauge if it's the right time to fight. That he would not draw himself back, and so he'd end up dying early on. And a lot of those times, like, especially if you're doing that on stage, you can imagine that that's something in practice has been a major issue. So Suju, who's been someone who's he's fairly risk averse. He doesn't want to find himself in a really tumultuous position. He wants to be able, like, okay, set my laners to succeed. Even if I fall behind in CS and experience, all of that, I'm willing to do that. And this time around, we're starting to see XiaoYao, that is. Stay in the back, look at what's been happening for the team, their success, their failures, talk to the coach, Coach Steak, and being able to come out, I think, with a very strong performance, strongest performance that they split for him.
Yeah, that's right. That's why Rogue Warriors, I think some of the strongest points are the fact that their rotational roster is getting better, and the fact that they have so many people to rely on. So when you're going up against a team like Vici Gaming, you can change your style if need be, especially in the jungle player pool.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest fears of having a 10-man roster, all of them not having experience, I say the only one that did was Killua. So the biggest fear of that one was just simply like a coach coming into that and having to figure out what really works for this team. Because the last time he was a completely stacked lineup with experienced players across the board. So for him, it was more so try and get opinions from his players, get them cohesive and working together, because they all have a way that they want to play the game.
I was going to say, it would have been so much harder going from like SMLZ to bottom lane in, like, even though ZWuji is a great AD carry, to someone.
You picked the worst example.
Okay.
I'm just going to come out and say it. You literally picked the best player. Yes.
Going from Duanbi to HuaTian.
Yes.
All right, that's
you
much
have
better.
a player that understands his role, like in Duanbi, that has like, who always is the most vocal person with a lot of these players that are just trying to find their place. A lot of the times, rookie players, they come into a new environment and they don't say much. That was the issue with Ben 4. The issue with a lot of players that are coming in that literally always default to the most senior member on the team. In that case, it was Killua, so Killua was a major shot caller. And as time has rolled by, it seems like that has been etched out. People are speaking a lot more. People are more comfortable on the stage. And I like the fact that Rogue Warriors have really been able to stamp a presence right now later on in the split.
That's right. Really comfortable in that bottom lane, though, it seems like, with ZWuji down there. And HuaTian knows it as well. Let's get his thoughts on what he thinks of his bottom lane.
我觉得我们打 VG 的话，主要还是看哪边下路发挥好吧，因为 VG 据我所知也是一支以下路为核心的队伍，然后我们也是，所以就看哪边的队友可以对下路的帮助提供的更多吧，然后哪边就会胜利的可能就会高一点。
It was very true, especially with Vici Gaming. I mean, their core has been down the bottom lane. Interesting that he says the same about Rogue Warriors because, I mean, yes, but in that game we saw the transition, I guess, of Jiangqiao on the top lane and even himself on the Lissandra.
Yeah, I think people, whenever it comes to teams that are trying to struggle, you know, trying to get by, a lot of times they focus on the mechanics, focus on player skills, because at the end of the day, the games will turn messy. You've seen yourself in LCS, or you've seen something like the bottom tier teams play up against each other like we saw yesterday in the first series of the day. Like, those games can be decided by insane moments by individual players.
Yep.
So, unrealistically, he'd look at that as like, our best players, ZWuji, their best players, Puff. Let's see which card is being dealt. But in reality, if you look outside the box, what makes you a much greater team, it's the whole picture. And the fact that he's probably not going to look to himself and say, I'm the reason we'll win this game. He's never going to say that. But internally, he's thinking, if I just play well, I think we'll win. And at that time, Jiangqiao has also been, the fact that he's able, even calling for the Jayce pick, he's recognizing that it is the best top laner in the meta as it stands within the laning phase. And he's just saying, I should be able to win off this pick if I play well enough. So the solo laners are empowering themselves in these games, and they're coming out strong.
It's great to see for Rogue Warriors. Remember, playing to kind of be spoiler here to at least Vici Gaming. This series means everything to them. And if Vici Gaming go down 0-2, this is going to be, I guess for me, a bit of an upset because the ceiling of this team, still believe it's there, but you have to wait until the next split to at least see their form moving back towards playoffs.
That's the thing for Vici. If you watch any fighting game tournament, you get knocked out, you get into the losers bracket, and you're like, all right, this is your tournament point.
Yeah.
Like for you as a player, if you lose this set, all of it is lost. All that work you put from the beginning right until the end. For Vici Gaming, this is that moment. If they lose this game, it's it. Pack it up. Focus on next split. For Rogue Warriors, they've already gotten that past that point, so you can already see them using the players that haven't gotten that playtime to see if they get good ideas, more time and experience for some of these players. It makes some sense for Rogue Warriors at this stage in the game to give players to rotational players. So on the side of Vici Gaming, I see them trying to do that while they're still in the game. So I wonder how Vici Gaming are going to be coming back in this specific match, because in this game next, if they lose it, I already stated they're out.
Yep.
And at that point, they would have to focus on just working as a unit.
And further to that point as well, you wanted to see more of XiaoYao. We've got the same roster there on Rogue Warriors, but going to be on the blue side. This I see is... Okay, no, did we have a spill?
Oh, no.
Oh,
Protect the keyboard at all times. I'm happy that it's happening before the game happens.
Yeah.
Not during the game.
Haven't had any fun pauses due to spills this split, funnily enough.
One thing I want to get out there is the fact that Huanggai coming in.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Over Kahlua. I mean, that's a very big choice.
It is a huge choice. I wonder what's the purpose for that one. Kahlua has been, of course, a player that I've been looking towards since coming in from Young Miracles into the team.
Yeah,
was the rookie player from the old Rogue Warriors. Was now the veteran player. It's funny how that works. The last standing player on that one.
Else?
And throughout all of that failures from Rogue Warriors in this split, him and ZWuji were the ones performing the best.
Yep.
So him falling out, I wonder what the purpose for that one is. I will say, though, that Huanggai coming in, Huanggai was performing well on the Rogue Warrior Structure LDL team.
Yep.
They have a pretty good record, and a lot of it is, once again, based off their bottom lane performance. So I like the fact that they bring him in. I will say this, though. If you look at his face and you're like, he looks a lot older than a lot of the other players, this man is 25 years old. Oh, 23, okay. That is, 23. He is 23 years old. He is much older than some of the other players on his team. Yeah. So he has age. He has, like,
careful
life
how you
experience.
This. Okay, all right.
Life experience of it's like, hey, who am I to turn to for any calls?
You
turn
hear
to
that?
your elders.
He's old. Raz just called him
He's an old man.
23 years old in esports.
He's an old man.
Yeah, there we go. Well, Huanggai, again, no rotations there, so you're going to see him played in game
He's not a
number
Huang
2.
boy. He's a Huang guy.
Number 2. All right. I'm counting. Let's see what gets better away this time, because Huanggai last time, you see the Alistar a lot from this guy. You also see the Morgana has been a pickup for him as well, one of the few in the league. We're looking towards supports as, sorry Puff, this time, no Nico there on the red side.
So I think that should turn in towards Jayce priority, immediately just taking a look at this, especially since Rogue Warriors have been focusing on him. That being said, with the Nico banned out, I wonder if that changes anything towards the top side, but nope. Going to lock that right in.
Very different. As in other teams, like when we watch FPX and Stop It, they hovered this last time. When we watch teams like FPX and BLG, RNG, the Jayce priority is not there. Usually seeing it a ban or just not there entirely. So
a lot of these LPL teams have preferred styles that don't incorporate that. It's not a flex on those teams, and even then, a lot of those teams don't look to their top laners to be primary and sole carries. Invictus Gaming will certainly pick up Jayce on first rotation, even if Rookie comes out and says that I don't want to play Jayce. Well, the Shy certainly wants to play Jayce, so lock that in, even if it's in like a tougher matchup. But Jayce just has so many good matchups. It's very hard to find a bad one. You would have to really dig to find that lane.
Yeah.
And at the same time, later on when it's in the mid game, he will overtake everyone else in his split pushing endeavors. So I just like the lock in. They're understanding that it is the strongest pick in the meta.
Well, I know we still have seen a mid Jayce as well, but not going to be this game as HuaTian slams that down immediately. LeBlanc locked on in. Before from Vici, pretty standard picks. I'm curious what comes after the LeBlanc though.
A LeBlanc option here for HuaTian. I would expect it to be a strong jungle lock-in, because if you are Rogue Warriors, you don't want to have a LeBlanc strength with a Jayce strength, and then give Vici Gaming the opportunity to start banning away the Olaf, the Rek'Sai. Not going to be the option now that XiaoYao picks it up for himself.
What I see from HuaTian is that he's feeling it, and that's good. The mid laner needs to show us his class and his improvement throughout the split. So does Jay. And that's why if this Syndra gets locked on in, which you can expect going into the LeBlanc is going to be favorable, then Jay, in one of his core picks, is going to have to prove that as well.
So here's one thing that I need to see from Vici Gaming in this second phase. Ban Ezreal. Because this composition from Rogue Warriors looked pretty damn good. You have the Ezreal Jayce. We saw that happen in the last game.
Yeah.
And on top of that, the ability for LeBlanc to pick up an opportunity, which means that if there's ever a poke on towards, like if Ezreal or Jiangqiao in this instance ends up getting a poke on towards Syndra, or let's say Jarvin. My God, Jarvin's going to get blown up by the LeBlanc. So she really preys off poked targets. I expect that to be a ban from Vici.
All right, you start off with the time catch. Makes perfect sense. Support's going at it.
I'm a little worried now.
With nothing left open.
Yeah, there we go. That's the Morgana ban. So let's see what Rogue Warriors ends up doing. I mean, I don't think they're worried about Morgana at all. If you're talking about just picks that Huanggai's been around the block, all right?
In a short period of time.
This man has seen some things in his old age. He doesn't give a damn about your bans here. Morgana, Tom Kench, Thresh, like, just keep throwing it at him.
Yeah, you're going to lose the Alistar by the looks of it as well, over to Southwind this time. Putting that forward as well, that you already have the Kalista bottom lane again.
Just go Braum. You have the Jayce.
No.
Like, that's a lot of great front to back.
That's too simple, Raz.
Simple. Let me tell you, once you lose the functionality of your bodies at such an old age, you just go back to that simple and clean champion.
Okay.
It's a good matchup, too, against Alistar.
Press Q, press auto.
There we go.
All right.
Lock it in.
Braum looks like an old man as well. Synergizing. All right.
And guess what works well with the Braum?
Oh, the Lucian still open?
Ezreal. Don't even, I mean, both of them work well. Unless if ZWuji just wants to pick another AD carry. I think Ezreal just works really well with this composition. You don't need to pick the Lucian until you're really focusing on the matchup.
Yep. Wuji's most played. Is it going to be the Lucian in the end?
Just pick the Ezreal.
Sorry, the Ezreal. Excuse me. Should be Raz, but never mind.
All right, we're fine.
Lucian Braum is classic bottom lane. Why not?
In diversity.
Yep. All right. Let's finish it off. Let's give ZDZ a carry, though.
If you have the Alistar, the Jarvin, add in one more tank. I know you wanted to see the carry.
Yeah, I did.
But Sion does well into the matchup. I think we're just talking about the excellence of Sion, the best player on that pick.
Yep.
Who do you think?
The Shy.
Oh my goodness. Who else?
Who did we talk about yesterday? I even said it yesterday.
Oh no.
It's not the good.
ADD, my friend.
It's ADD, man.
I know we're talking about ZDZ, but we gotta talk about the relevant letters.
I can't put letters together.
It's the relevant letters at the beginning of the alphabet. And so for me, ADD on the Sion, his range on Q, that decimating smash, is in the same range as Jayce when he tries to harass you.
Yeah.
Tries to walk up and out of you. As long as you channel that, you can actually come out with an even trade. You have the shield a lot to be able to handle the lane. He did receive some nerfs really early on, but still good enough to pick up the matchup and now help out what is a pretty straightforward teamfight composition for the team.
What people forget a lot of the time as well, Sion infinitely scales. Now, how does that make sense? Look at his W, man. You just don't stop. Health after bits of health. And taking a Sion into top lane, yes, it doesn't appeal to me because I wanted the carry. You know, I want things here. for Vici Gaming. I'm the only person out of the casters who said that Vici Gaming would win this series.
For you, it gets a little more passionate. I don't know. I'm just trying to pick out the winners. You know, you see something in Southwind, and you look at the eyes of Puff, and you're like, I'm with you all the way.
Yeah. Until death do us part.
It's a little bit of an issue.
Well, especially if they lose this series. Death is on its way. It is cold in the north. I don't know where Vici are from, but now I'm assuming the north, right? And the north remembers, with 1-0 already up from Rogue Warriors, remember one thing in the back of your mind. If Rogue Warriors win this, yes, of course they knock out Vici Gaming. But they show us that they're a team to be reckoned with. They show us that as we drive through the stadium, there is one thing to remember, and that the potential of these young stars will be ever growing in the LPL. That's how it started with people like Kahlua. That's how it starts with people like Rogue Warriors here in this series to define themselves in Shanghai. And you know what? I'm not the only one who's grown in support of Vici Gaming. Once upon a time, the crowd was silent for Vici. No longer.
Whenever Vici Gaming changes up their roster, you always find a new bit of charm to it. Yeah. Originally, it was like Swift and Coco. Yes, they need that. They love it, support it.
When we had world superstars on the roster.
Of course, that's true.
Of course, that followed.
That was in the time of Bengi and Easyhu and all that. There's always been new iterations of Vici Gaming that fans will always clamor towards. This was a pretty tough sell to Vici Gaming's fans. You're like, here's your team without Audi.
It's going to be harder to sell. Look at that quick trade. The only reason ZDZ can stay in lane is because Jiangqiao missed the shock blast. Otherwise, he'd be either dead or going home.
This is the difference between ADD and ZDZ. I'm just going to put that out there. It's the letters that count.
Yeah, that's right. Too far away from the start of the alphabet. It's hurting.
He's going to have to walk up to his own wave so he can pick it up. Jiangqiao, please. He just picked up the experience, but he's not even thinking about the
He doesn't even care.
CS. He's like, I don't need CS, I just need the experience.
This is the new Spell Thieves.
He's going to get level 2 much faster, of course, because ZDZ is not an experience range.
It will be now. Jiangqiao eventually has to let the wave crash once again. This will be an advantage here for ZDZ to get back into the wave. Advantage meaning he can catch up in levels.
But you have to know what that means. He's just going to jump on top of ZDZ the moment that he ends up pinging level 6. So right up there, of course, ZDZ recognized that and goes up right to his turret.
You were speaking about the range to auto-attack there. That's the response here from ZDZ. That's the interaction. But noticing the phase rush here on the Jayce, so bit of damage off, the ability to absolutely smash down on the Sion and get within his range again.
Yeah, the early laning phase, you pick up Airy. We saw Electrocute in the last game there as well, but the phase rush later on gives you so much chasing pressure, especially if you are in a longer lane once the tower gets taken down and the Sion's just all that's there.
Oh no, Vici not again. Jay walking blindly into the pit. Scatter the Weak doesn't land, but following through. XiaoYao, the Ignite, the flash forward. Give it over to HuaTian.
Couldn't set up the sphere. Orb wasn't there, so he can stun down XiaoYao, so he's able to just flash in and follow through.
And look, it's a reverse matchup here, Raz. Reverse matchup looks better for XiaoYao once again.
XiaoYao's just been so aggressive. This is that tempered aggression. He's been able to recognize when to dial it back, and this time around, there's no dialing it back. You just keep going.
That's right. And in the 1v1 here, you favor XiaoYao, considering the top lane can't get in, and there's going to be a burst of damage from Jiangqiao. Majority of the gold goes over to XiaoYao, picks up the big Krug, forces Ike's to go back.
The most important information here for XiaoYao is that he went in towards the depth of the red side jungle. He knows that it's all clear. Krug's obviously clear because he cleared it. Raptor's there, he saw it. So now he knows that Jarvin's going to likely go bottom side to farm up. He's going to call for his dual lane to play it safe. ZWuji and Huanggai already got that memo. So XiaoYao doesn't necessarily have to be there. He can stay top side and be able to pressure the enemy top lane or mid lane far more effectively.
That's right, no scuttle up in the bottom side river as well, so playing it safe is a necessity here for this bottom lane, especially with the jungler now moving towards that top side. You can see the threat of Jiangqiao has altered a little bit here. Props to ZDZ for still being able to stay in this lane and catch up on CS, deciding on how it started.
Yeah, it's nice, but remember what it took for it. He's completely used his corrupting potions while there's still 2 corrupting potions and a biscuit there for Jiangqiao. So in the longer run, he's going to have a better time, Jiangqiao. Speaking of that, ZWuji and Huanggai should know about this pressure.
Yep, Wuji was playing it super safe, waiting for that last CS. There's a flash in the headbutt pulverize there. Wuji gets a knocked up by his support as well. Southwind locks on down. That's a double flash or double summoner there on ZWuji.
Yeah, ZWuji having to blow both his sums on that one. They didn't have a ward to catch him out on the bot side. It was ZWuji who did have a trinket, but of course was too busy pressuring the lane than to place it. This makes it hard now for ZWuji to continue walking forward. At least Huanggai kept onto his own summoners so they can still have him walk up and lead the lane.
Bottom lane, the strength of Vici Gaming as always.
Oh no!
Ike's coming back down. Very good repeat gank, but a smart ward placed there by Rogue Rose. Get out of here.
I don't want to see you no more. Kind of reminds me of SOFM. We'll see him later today, but when he picked up the Jarvin last we saw him, he was relentless. He just stuck bottom lane. He didn't leave. It was kind of upsetting. Forgoed a lot of experience because he was like, as long as my bottom lane is ahead, that's all that matters to me. Seems to be the same here for Ike's. Of course, he leaves a little bit earlier, but he just protects Puff and Southwind to get the shove, and they don't fall behind here.
That's right, simply showing there, puts Rogue Warriors bottom lane on edge. Deep ward still put there by Vici Gaming as well. So XiaoYao's nowhere near it, which won't be relevant at this point. Give him more Scuttle Crabs. I think this game we saw a 1-for-1 trade on the Scuttles, which is good there for Vici Gaming, but already falling behind in CS. And XiaoYao picks up topside pressure, and so does ZDZ.
This is great timing here from XiaoYao. If you timed it, that's 2 minutes and 30 seconds in which the last time he took down Krugs, guess who's timed that? XiaoYao. So XiaoYao's here at a perfect time, knows that Jarvan's going to be here, and so he's there just on time for the Krugs. He's recognized that, and now he can contest for it.
What I fear for this, though, is Jiangqiao doesn't have enough mana to help contest. So in the 2v2, the Sion helps out more, and XiaoYao's forced to roam up while we look at the bottom lane. Southwind might go too deep here with the Polarized locked on down. Ignite there on the ZWuji as well. Puff looking for the Rend, and the stacks don't find their way. ZWuji survives, Southwind burns his summoners as well, and now a very dangerous bottom lane.
You better believe that ZWuji's biding his time. Not only is his Doran shield starting to heal him back up, but his potion's doing the same. And Southwind, recognizing that, is 10 miles that way. He doesn't want to be anywhere near because he was annoying enough to stack up his CC, but now cannot handle a 2v2.
Yeah, picks up mobility boots, so we might see a bit more roaming here from Southwind. Remember, that jungle proximity there was one of his best stats in this game. More potential to do so, much to the likes of someone like Crisp.
There are so many good Alistars in the LPL.
Too many. Actually, you can never have too many.
That's always the, but it makes it hard to define a few people where they're like, this guy is an excellent Alistar player. You just keep going down the ranks. You're like, this guy as well. Who's the tier Alistar player?
Who's the best then? Would it be Ming? I feel like it's Ming.
Yeah, I would say Ming. It's always tough because he has a wonderful team, so every time he goes for Headbutt Pulverizer, his team follows up on it.
Yep.
But he's just a damn good player.
I don't even talk about supports because it's level 6 versus level 5. LeBlanc's in as well. Ready, Rek'Sai.
Yeah!
Whoa! That hurt. Southwind trying to bob him back to the turret. XiaoYao just walks on out of there, or whatever. He scurries out of there.
Can't get out of that situation. I mean, he wanted to flash away from HuaTian, but XiaoYao locked on target. And this is why you prioritize your jungler. Rogue Warriors didn't run away from the fact that they had priority picks in both LeBlanc and the Jayce. They're like, we're just picking up our strongest matchups. Like, strongest champions, Jiangqiao is very confident with the Jayce.
Yep.
Same goes for HuaTian on the LeBlanc.
Southwind
okay, let's go.
over the wall. This is a good decision while he headbutts back in. Good target selection here from Vici Gaming. Now the turn on to XiaoYao as Puff comes over the wall. This needs to be a XiaoYao kill, and it should be rendered down. Perfect here for Vici. Bottom lane ahead.
That's a huge amount of resources pulled into the bottom lane for that one kill on Rek'Sai. And if I'm Jiangqiao, I'm like, okay, I'm getting to work now.
Woo! Back
All right,
top.
he's going right back top lane. What the hell? I want to see the Sion Speedway. Let's go back top, please.
Oh my god, how did he drift?
This is where the Sion Speedway starts. I loved watching it. For anyone that watched the NALCS earlier today, congratulations to both the Fox players. Bottom lane there, Hakuho and Apollo being able to just blow him away. ZDZ didn't get to get that last curve in, so he loses.
No. He does. He loses out more than that as well. The trades keep going from bad to worse. I'm surprised, though, he's still in this lane. He's only 10 CS behind on what has been brutal for him so far. And I guess it comes down to that talk we had at the start about airy, electrocute on the Jayce versus taking that phase rush.
Yeah, I'm more worried about Sion once the turret gets opened up. Because if you try and pick up this wave here when you don't have a turret directly behind you, and that's when you start fighting for the solo kill. That's when Jiangqiao starts hunting alongside XiaoYao. XiaoYao wants to stay alongside his solo laners at all costs. Right now, he's buddy-buddy with HuaTian. He's going to be with HuaTian because he gets so much experience alongside him, picking up Raptor Camp in the enemy jungle, and then, of course, the kill on towards Ike. But then once the lanes start picking up, he's going to double team with Jiangqiao, but here they go.
Very creative there from HuaTian. We'll get jumped on again. Remember, Ike has the Cataclysm available. Looking for HuaTian. The burn is down. Ready, 1, 2, 3, but Distortion away he lives. XiaoYao almost takes out the mid laner himself. Now looking for the 1v1. Ike's forced out of there too.
They really jumped on HuaTian quickly.
Yeah.
That was far faster than XiaoYao could really deal with. So thank the Lord that HuaTian somehow stayed alive long enough to be able to just distortion out once again. It was close to being in range of Ike's either flag or Q.
You can start seeing how the matchup in the mid lane normally goes there with the Syndra versus the LeBlanc. Small CS lead, but again, hello, Mr.
Relentless.
Crud. About a second too late there from XiaoYao, but has the right idea. Still disrupting the flow here. Taking about 30 gold worth in the end.
And just remember, regardless of the gold, the most impactful thing is the experience that Krugs give you. It is the most experience-packed camp in the game.
Yep.
And if you're able to like start messing with the first two, he got like a lot of experience off the first two Krugs. The third one, he was really disturbing and just trying to push Ike's alongside. The level difference has been there. Right now, Ike's just turned level 7, but XiaoYao has been level 7. So he's just about a level ahead. And so my question is, when XiaoYao is going to be getting to level 8, he's going to be so close to being able to max out his Q damage. Maybe he can do it on top of the Sion. He's in.
What? Tunnel systems. Yeah, I'm not too sure.
He got shimmied by the Sion.
Of course, with the Tremor Sense, I think, what is it, 1.5 seconds? Was changed a little while ago. Way too long ago when Rek'Sai was more better. To be scattered out. Will be spotted by a ward while he's doing the Rift Herald. Now it begins for Rogue Warriors. Look at the rotation. Huanggai, ZWuji come to the top side of the map. 5 members top. They're going to abandon bottom lane for this Rift Herald.
But how long is Vici going to pull this game? Remember last game they got so much turret pressure the last time around. But this is them foregoing this, the Rift Herald top lane. And you know what they're going to be doing, knowing that 2 players are holding on the bottom lane. Yep. 3 if you're adding Ike's. That's going to be an instant Rift Herald top lane. I wonder how much they get off of this.
Here it comes. Full turret plating available as well.
Let's go.
Early Rift Herald.
Here comes the parade.
All right, with the Cloud Dragon as well, you better move your feet. Let's see how fast they actually go. Ike's still not moving just yet.
Ike's has to just be there for the second tower. Worst case scenario is that he's not there for the second tower and it's the same experience that Vici Gaming had and inflicted against the enemy team, where it goes 3 towers in.
Yeah. Remember, the Puff still hasn't got this turret. I mean, this is rough. You're a Callista. You've got on hit.
Here we go. Stop this one. Hit him in the eye.
Still here. That's at half health. The Rift Herald, what? Gets Roar of the Slade back. I forgot you could do that.
Yep.
Decimating Smashes there as well. ZWuji has the ultimate, but not going to do it at point blank range. Just one guy saves the day again.
One thing that's really fun for people out there if they play Sion is, before I talk about that, here
hang
comes
on, that
Puff.
hit Puff directly. Jiangqiao just take on the 1v1. Get Puff, flashed on. The rend is early. He might have found it otherwise, but still the range advantage. Jiangqiao just hit him in the face. Struck down. That was too close for comfort.
I'd already used his rend on that one, so healed up and realized, wait a minute, I get ranged. How am I going to start this fight up again? Jiangqiao coming out with a clutch assassination there on the AD carry.
First kill of the game too. Wasn't able to save the turret, but getting the solo gold over. That's what matters. What does he get? Serrated Dirk. Yep, you'll take that.
Last game, he ended up picking up Edge of Night with that serrated Dirk. This time around, I don't expect that to be the case. He wants to pick up as much damage as humanly possible. Edge of Night is a nice defensive element if you want to be able to jump right in there. While, of course, Duskblade just puts out that raw damage, and he knows that he's going to be going up against ZDZ far more often. My expectation, or my question, I suppose, once he goes into his third item is, does he go towards the Black Black Cleaver, or more importantly, like the Blade of the Rune King? If he's going to be really focusing on side lane split pushing up against a pretty heavy HP armor tank, he needs a little bit more attack speed and oomph on that one. The HP shred that you're able to get, I would love to see that.
More often than not, we've seen Duskblade, but in game number 1, optimizing for the Hex Drinker instead. I like that Jiangqiao 2 games in a row picking up the same carry in the top lane. We don't see any of this Sion nonsense, especially not in this matchup here. But still, proud of ZDZ. You know, has quelled the Jayce as much as he could. Got bullied out earlier on. The Sion's still very relevant. He's only 10 CS behind.
Overall, Vici Gaming are just lacking in the ability to start a fight. I'm looking at towards like Jay, maybe if he gets a nice stun across. XiaoYao is in a really difficult position here, though. He might get opened up on, but he sees them running down bot.
Yeah, that's a good part of Tremor Sense there as well. 3 versus 4. It's going to be 5 soon as well. Even Jiangqiao's joined the fight. ZDZ is nearby, has Ignite in hand.
But take a look at the top laners, are ready for this fight, holding up that mid lane. I mean, more, my eyes are on ZDZ in particular because he has the way and ability to start a fight. Jayce is going to be rotating first, but I wonder how the Sion is going to be able to impact these fights.
They'll be able to defend this turret. It's going down pretty fast.
No.
LeBlanc in straight away. Southwind at half. XiaoYao just wants to tag them. At least force them away.
They decide against it, but here comes the flank.
Tunnel system out now for ZDZ. He has to find his way out of there. Ultimate still in hand. Actually use a point blank range and found the top laner. Jiangqiao drops on down. Vici Gaming now for the 5 versus 4. They have the numbers advantage, but is the damage there? Quick disengage from Rogue Warriors, but they'll lose mid lane turret. This is going to be the play from Vici.
Yeah, the call was Ike's deciding not to go for the ultimate there. The Cataclysm would have been a nice way to start the fight, but ZDZ didn't have his ultimate there. He didn't want to use it necessarily. Jay had already used his, and it would essentially you be calling Pup to use his ultimate to throw Southwind in there. But where's the follow-up? So there's a lot of questions that they had there. The safer option is just to regroup mid lane.
They might be caught out again though, Raz. Scout of the week, easy kill onto XiaoYao. Now you have 3 members. Teleport coming in to make it 4 once more. This is Jiangqiao with the ultimate coming down from Huanggai. They've locked down Southwind, and what a guy he is. Rogue Warriors get a trade-off kill underneath turret, but Vici Gaming still trading ahead.
This is why communication of what you're trying to do is so important. Because the call there was quite clearly, we need to back away. Right?
Yep.
They already got the first kill, and I know that the initial call is to go to Huanggai, but the calls can be changed so quickly. Situations really require you to be able to have the mind to say, okay, we've already gotten the first kill on towards the Rek'Sai, now we need to just back up out of there. So, of course, Alistar ends up throwing himself in there to die.
Rogue Warriors just making an even trade again. They're 2,000 gold ahead, keeping the distance away from Vici Gaming, and you've got 1 items all across the board, pretty much for both teams at this point as well. Still waiting for ZDZ to catch up, but the Sion still tanky enough.
Woo!
As what? What?
That was fun.
That was interesting.
The chain, remember the most important part of the chain is the tip. Everything else doesn't matter. It's about if the tip hits the hitbox of Syndra. Of course it didn't, because man, she got blown away as she was trying to just dash on top of her. So it was the distortion that got batted away.
Looks like a game of hot rope from Mario Party 2. If anyone remembers that. The big hot fireball skipping rope. No? Okay,
nah, not at all.
Oh man, you need to play more Mario Party.
I watch Mario Party.
Watch it.
Here's the funnest thing to do. Just watch the 4 bots play. Easy bot Mario Party, just go at it.
Oh yeah.
That is my most, like, if you do it with a full party, like friends just watching like 4 bots, easy bots.
Yeah.
Just have at it. That is the best like,
I feel like
party game to watch.
Yeah.
I enjoy things with a sip of wine on the side. Not really, but I love the
I don't doubt that. Yeah,
here we go.
Okay.
It is hilarious though, please do it. You can search it up on YouTube when you have the time.
Alright. But not now.
Oh, not after this!
Yeah, no, that's a hex splash in. Alright, Southwind can't commit fully, but HuaTian coming in around the side. Look, Ike's is still there. He's bided his time. He hasn't moved.
HuaTian doesn't have the mana to support a team fight. No, I'm just looking towards J4. He's recognizing that and trying to figure out when's the best time, because HuaTian is using his distortion far aggressively, and if he keeps doing that, then he's going to be a target for a team fight.
That's right, backs away after getting the pick off, or rather doing a bit of damage onto the back line there of Vici Gaming. Ocean Dragon going to be picked up here by Rogue Warriors, but unawares. Baron's coming up in 2 minutes, and Vici Gaming trying to get the flank onto ZWuji in the mid lane.
We'll have to see if it's effective. They're going to be able to get him.
Knocks him up. Look at this. 5 versus 1. 5 versus the world. ZWuji can't survive long enough. And even Southwind coming in for the flank as well. But here comes XiaoYao to clean up the fight. HuaTian gets the AoE. Why will we follow the LeBlanc? It's because we're curious. And getting another pick off there. This is good for Rogue Warriors. They can continue forward. And HuaTian does. On to Puff and ZDZ. The second last one alive in the middle. The Sion still takes so long to die. But as he drops, so does Vici Gaming's mid lane, and so does that gold lead continue to blow.
Vici Gaming still always trying to find a place to trade in. So they're looking towards the mid lane, seeing ZWuji, great, but you still need to find an exit strategy. That's 2 plays in a row that they didn't have a way to exit away from the play that they were making, and they all fall to that. I have been loving HuaTian and XiaoYao's play in this game. I think that this is the best game that I've seen from HuaTian, and XiaoYao complements him so well.
And it's been getting better and better each week. I said this in Game 1, I'll say it again in Game 2. HuaTian at the start of the split, I will say, looked horrible, now looks fantastic.
And it starts with a pick on towards ZWuji. Even if you expend so much, they have to go all the way to use the Cataclysm. But then take a look at this. This is Rogue Warriors coming out with an assassination on a Southwind, and then of course you can follow up on Jay, Puff is soon to follow. XiaoYao even smites him, killing smite, so he feels that fur. And then from that point forward, I mean, it's already a clean sweep. So Vici Gaming, they have great ideas, but they never think it out fully. That's one of the payoffs.
I remember when we were sitting down with them, when it was Suning versus Vici. Remember, Raz, that was their first game 3, I believe. Hang on, Hex Flash. Memory lane in the second with the double knock up there from Southwind, still carrying the rest of Vici Gaming. Wuji's able to walk away, though. This is a Relentless Pursuit territory. A good scat of the week will secure Huanggai. Now for Rogue Rose, a 4 versus 5 still looks pretty good. With an Unleashed Power, though, it's over. Wuji's down. Ike's is low. Ike's golden. HuaTian can't find the re-engage. Nork in the Shock Blast combo. So Vici Gaming now have access to mid lane turret.
Yeah, put themselves in a great position. It was Rogue Warriors that are just not ready for these fights, because if you watch any of these teams, Snake, Team WE, Vici, and now showing the same fire where if they're behind, what's the best way to come back in? You keep looking to pick up fights. In this particular situation, Rogue Warriors are just still finding back timing. So if you can hit them while they're coming back onto the map from the previous fights, then you got a number advantage. So take a look at this one. Because in this instance, you see Jayce picking up the bottom lane wave and going back to base. And in this instance, they're already on top of the AD carry. So already picking up the dual lanes when the adjacent side laners are in no way ready to be able to support this play.
Harsh positioning there. That's a good outplay, Raz. Ultimate from Jay to help secure the kill. Spellbinder on him now, but we'll see how it goes in this fight. Huanggai ulting in the middle, caught out once again. The bottom lane of Rogue Warriors not playing the same game 1 with Culling and a Relentless Pursuit. Still won't find his way out. Wuji had the ultimate available. There was no chance to use it there. Bottom lane, 5 deaths combined.
You know exactly where they're going.
Let's do it. Baron to be started. Death time is at the 22nd mark.
I'm shocked that Rogue Warriors are getting caught out by this.
Yeah.
They're the ones that use the same damn strategy to take down RNG, and now they're surprised they're getting constantly opened up on through the mid lane when they're trying to pick up side lanes. In this instance, ZWuji and Huanggai just need to play back, while HuaTian and Jiangqiao are pushing outside. That's why they picked this composition.
Yep.
If you can't play around the J split push and, of course, LeBlanc being able to isolate matchup on the side lane effectively, then you shouldn't play it. But I think they should try and really just grind this one out, because if you can't play the strategy, then you just become the teamfight team. And if you just become that teamfight team, we've seen so many teams fall out of the league or have difficulties in being competitive, because every other team, like, look at the top 5 teams, they're all stellar team fighters. They can do everything else as well.
That's right. Two-dimensional teams in the LPL do not work in the 2019 spring. You have 16, you have 8 positions for playoffs. And to put it simply here as well, for the condition of Rogue Warriors in this game, top lanes ahead, mid lanes ahead, you have everything set up nicely for you. And even here, there's a potential 1v1 that will help grow with the Black Cleaver already in hand. There's a lot of damage. Jiangqiao's like, nah, man, we're good. I have an item buy. It was a longsword, by the way.
I think the only reason he didn't want to pick up that one is just that it's too large of an investment to take that fight. If you're going at a full HP, frozen heart,
take a while.
Sion at that, it takes too long, because then you're worrying that the rest of Vici Gaming are going to be coming in. They're already winning team fights, those too. Yep. So definitely Sion would buy for enough time for the collapse.
While we're looking away, XiaoYao, his Sterix gauge actually went off, so that's a big cooldown there that the Rek'Sai is going to have to deal with, especially since Vici Gaming still posturing around this Baron.
I love the fact that you say it's a big cooldown, because one of the biggest things with Sterix gauge is that it's laughably a low cooldown. I'm worried about it now because, of course, it's Vici Gaming looking for a fight in this instance.
Very true.
But you already see that it's half cooldown ready.
All right, I lied to everyone, I admit. But still not being up for the next fight as the pick comes off now. XiaoYao, now it looks like a longer one. Chains not landing from HuaTian. The criticism is there. Needs to find that lockdown.
I will say this, though. The best way to deal with Sterix gauge, one nerf that I would really like, is have a longer cooldown. Please.
That's very fair. This time the chain does land from HuaTian.
And they have a lot of great mid lane pressure where Alistar does need to go back to base. So that means all the vision control that Vici Gaming had really bullied, now is just being contested, being taken off just because of the poke. Jiangqiao's decided to join his team.
Southwind. Oh, I mean, double distortion into Southwind. He is dead. Unbreakable will not be able to channel in time. Look at this. HuaTian's hunting. Get him. Whoa. That chain. It is Mario tightrope, I'm telling you.
I mean, it's pretty long. Oh, please.
So close. That was a dead cow right there, even with Zig's convergence. So Rogue Warriors, they poke them out enough. They get mid lane pressure back up and available. And they get themselves the Cloud Drake. All right, Raz, watch the Infernal. Here we go.
It was getting darker, it was getting deeper, and it looked like it was going to get red. Yeah. But you were wrong on that one.
Close enough.
Now you got to give me something.
I say close enough a lot with those dragons, but they're really four different dragons.
It makes no sense, exactly. Yeah. Like you keep saying it.
You know. Well,
maybe in terms of severity.
We could have dinner like that one day, by the way, if you like.
What? Oh,
maybe. Heartseeker Lucian, man?
No, I'd much prefer the empty chair.
Well. It's been a hot minute here with this Lucian. ZWuji and Huanggai in game number 1 was more cleaner than clean, to put it lightly. In game number 2, ZWuji's not been the standout that we've been expecting. And of course, we can put these light criticisms towards Rogue Warriors because they're moving towards the league of, right, this team is actually fiercely competitive. They've grown on their mistakes in weeks 1 to
So it's always the
week
small things that now start to come up, because before there are major problems of how do we get an early game lead, right? Of course, yeah, spellbook, so just using the ghost to be able to pick back up the teleport.
Just look cool.
But those are issues that Rogue Warriors have now dealt with. They have a laning phase. Before, they were getting smashed in lanes, and ZWuji had to play early pressure champions. But now the question is, like, if ZWuji has to play towards what the mid-game composition is, which is split up on side lanes and just play safe mid, he's been failing that. So that's something that he needs to recognize. For how good he is and how well he's been playing on this team, you just have to recognize that there's always so many points to grow with. Like, so much room for growth, and on a team to be able to get better together. I think XiaoYao has been helping along here. Look at the vision control that Rogue Warriors are being able to pick up for themselves.
Yep.
And you're starting to see Rogue Warriors just before your eyes get so much better.
Slowing down a lot there for ZWuji and Huanggai as well. Haven't been caught out since. Seems like the comms would have said to slow things down. Let's set up for this Baron, which is completely blind from Vici Gaming. Heading towards it now, making sure it is not a risk. But Rogue Warriors have other ideas, starting with HuaTian. Again, the binding doesn't land, but does it have to this time? Yes, it would have. Rogue Warriors still positioning around Baron.
Remember, that's the difference between having the Electrocute proc. That's so much damage at that stage.
Yeah.
That would have definitely pushed Ike's toward going back to base. He keeps up on a little bit. Look, it's like 60% HP.
Yeah.
So he keeps up, topped up for a little bit longer. I think he'll be able to smite the Raptors here. There we go. Keep up in HP. But that's what you're scared of now. If you're going up against Rogue Warriors trying to push for vision here, you're constantly afraid of HuaTian pushing up and trying to get some, like, his full blast combo on. Even throwing in the Igniter. Here comes him.
They want to force something in Vici Game, makes perfect sense. Double header up, pulverize here, perfect fight for Vici. They find all the CC, chain it together, they make themselves a sandwich out of it. And Rogue Warriors lose 1. Now into the backline, Vici Gaming have to run away because Puff is low.
Right for Huanggai. He still held on to his summoners there too.
He
There's
did.
a chance where he was able to get out of there, but
and has his ulti.
The lifesteal from Puff will keep him topped up. I think Vici Gaming should get mid. Oh, okay, just kidding.
Yep. Pokes coming out again. Ike's didn't lose the ultimate in the last fight. Jiangqiao caught out as well. Great scat of the week. Vici Gaming are just getting fed.
There we have it. And you know they're trying to set themselves up for Baron vision at the least. So trying to heal Puff right back up, get control of the mid lane, and then move towards the Baron pit. That was upset by Jiangqiao's poke. And they're like, wait a minute, he's not that far off. Literally just send the Jarvin dogs at him. So that's nice to see from the side of Vici Gaming. There's still a lot of bite in them.
Yeah. He has Dustblade this time though, Raz. Third item there for Jiangqiao. And with the Knight's Vow there was a lot of safety in this game as well. Still a lot of CC, but going down the aggressive path. Last Whisper is coming up there as well. So difference there in the top laners to be shown.
This is when the game gets so much harder for Rogue Warriors. Because for a Jayce, this is why, like, I remember in the NALCS they talked about why Jayce is actually so hard to play out.
As I say that, that's Unleashed Power blocked there by the door, but is he going to die again? Huanggai 0-3 already.
He's coming in.
Saved by ZWuji, the Sion's in, everyone splits the peas, but the ultimate there from Huanggai finally comes out. HuaTian bopped all the way back, CDC taking up the front line, but for how long? Chains it down, force the flash there with the culling, forward onto Southwind. Remember, the poke's huge here. It runs into the Mary Moo Cow, and Rogue Warriors 5 versus 5 still favors them. Locked down with the chain, finally it lands. Southwind goes in to his death. Oh, what happens on the farms? They never tell you, but finally you see.
They got the kill on towards their support, and they sent Ike's back. You know what that means?
It's time again. This is what you said last time, though, Raz, and I'm going to stop believing you.
Well, here's the thing. I don't expect them to take the Baron buff, but I expect Vici Gaming to look. They have to poke their heads in, and this is where you... Oh my god.
Doesn't land the chain again, though. Scatter the weak, forces the flash. Ix is here as well now. Happy Feet must dance. HuaTian has the blast cone available. He'll get out safely, but Rogue Warriors had to pull off the Baron simply because the mid laner was under threat.
Yeah, HuaTian played his own team. That's sad. I like the positioning that he was in, but he was looking for the wrong target. There's no reason to poke your head in the mid lane because they're not going through any fog of war. With the Jarvin, I don't think he saw him necessarily, but you just wait. Wait until they try and push through the fog of war that was the bush, the left side of the mid lane. Then you can look for your pick. But, you know, they had a lot of space to work with, and they end up coming out ahead there.
Still the difference between HuaTian's growth and, you know, comparing him to other mid laners, like rookies so far off, but let's keep it more realistic. Maybe even someone like XiaoYao, right? HuaTian versus XiaoYao, and you say the LeBlanc play, the way he plays himself, still quite impatient there for Rogue Warriors.
If I were to say HuaTian versus XiaoYao, you're right. I think that XiaoYao has a lot more confidence on the pick, recognizes, you know, better timings that he can in those situations around Baron buff, and that's oftentimes more faith in the team element. So like JD's the type of team that they've been through those situations so much, playing around the Baron game, no matter the members that have come in and out of the lineup, that they can just play it safely and wait for them to have that one strike, you know, send them through the fog of war, and then XiaoYao knows that he has that one chance to be able to get that kill. But think of the times that HuaTian's been in that position, where that faith isn't there yet, that the team is good enough to be able to make the best out of that one opportunity. So he's willing to, hey, you know what, make a pick on towards mid lane. Maybe he gets something the best out of it, even if it's trying to cheat out that play. And here's a lot of damage on Ix.
Yeah, a bit of momentum there, but momentum shifted back. ZWuji ults back in, the unstoppable onslaught again. This time knocked up onto Jiangqiao, the Jayce out of position. The Cataclysm comes down into the backline. Culling now free firing. Vici Gaming taking full damage, but is it too much here for Rogue Warriors? Shifting forward, Southwind drops down, but Scatter the Weak lands onto HuaTian. Ultimate, the burn, the sphere, down it comes. Puff slowed on down with the Wizard's Bite, but Wuji's flashing forward. This is the moment for the Lucian here. 31 minutes in, Scatter the Weak lands on only one. The Unleashed Power was used earlier on, but look, Puff is still dancing around the fight. Look at that Happy Feet, man. Oh my god, Puff just doesn't stop.
In the middle of that fight, HuaTian is able to get right in there in a pot shot in the back line. And Ix ended up falling for that, but that was such a great fight for Rogue Warriors, and it didn't pan out for one reason. ZDZ Sion just setting up so much space. There was no way for them to take him down. Now ZWuji looking around the pit. Remember my guarantee.
Yeah, ZDZ has a really low cooldown on the ultimate as well, Raz, so keep that in mind.
My guarantee is there's going to be one fight. ZWuji doesn't want to make it a 1v3. He's going to peace out.
Yeah, not this time. You're not playing the Azrael. There's no pentakill available, nor is this Baron going to be Rogue Warriors to steal away. Not this time anyway. Vici secure it. They secure the fight.
Look at all that damage. Now, you didn't have to double down. Huanggai didn't have to be there. Jiangqiao is mid lane alone, so that's the difficulties of Rogue Warriors to begin with, right off the bat. HuaTian gets a lot of nice damage into the back line. And so all of that was a great standing for the carries of Rogue Warriors to start walking up. But look at the HP ZDZ has here. Multiple shields on top of him as well. He creates space for Puff and Jay to work alongside. And so every single time you're like, okay, maybe we can dive on them now. Maybe. But here comes ZDZ to walk right back up. Guardian Angel keeps Puff up and available. And so the carries are getting eviscerated on the side of Rogue Warriors.
Yeah. Puff surviving as well, gets the final kill onto Jiangqiao. It seals the deal there for Vici Gaming, who've quelled up that gold. And we're looking at 33 minutes, even standings here. But Baron buff, that's sure to change very, very soon.
A little bit worried here for Rogue Warriors.
Yep.
Because you saw how close they were at being able to take the fight in that last team fight, but how difficult it was for them. On the side of HuaTian, he got stunned out early on, too, by Jay, and it's only going to get worse because Jay's been able to pick up his items now. He's actually inched so much closer towards his Rabadon's death cap, and I would assume that's where he's picking up right now. And so he's picked up so much AP. And already level 17, I believe. Wow.
Yep.
He is so close to being able to hit that level 18 benchmark. He is so strong. That's a lot of damage on the cow.
It is. Southwind not forced to pop the ultimate, actually played that very close to the chest. But Vici Gaming, meanwhile, top lane turret goes down. So even if Southwind is the causality, doesn't matter. There's still more there for Vici to take.
That's the turret that needed to go down for some time. It's been difficult for Vici Gaming to find themselves putting vision in the blue side jungle.
Yep.
With that turret still standing. Now that being said, they can walk in. This turret is soon it should just fall. There's way too much threat coming on the side of Vici Gaming.
Wow, HuaTian's doing it again, but this time the engage is full throttle. Distortion not available. HuaTian's down. Jay, better mid laner this game it seems. Playing so much better on the Syndra.
HuaTian doesn't know how to be able to stop them from pushing forward. At this point, you gotta know when to fold them. Rogue Warriors have to play it back.
Holding well for Vici Gaming. Turret's going to go down. Mid lane, inhibitor exposed, and there's two. With Braum buff, do they want to keep going? I mean,
nah,
the poke
this can't
out,
be the call.
That says no, but why not? It's Vici Gaming. Let's go mid. Let's try and end the game.
Huanggai still has his ultimate. Let's see how they play around it.
All right, 5 versus 4. Big death timer there on the mid lane. Ultimate landed down like you were mentioning there with Jiangqiao from the side. Southwind tanking it up, still underneath the turret. Redemption coming down. Vici found their first pick. Still ambitious in the play, but it's working out. This time, Nexus turret, number 1 drops down. Number 2 as well. Rogue Warriors underneath the Nexus, trying to defend, trying to keep the game alive, but a double knock up again. Easy does it, they say. Vici, another game 3 to be proud of.
That's what happens. One mistake. Right next to your inner mid lane turret with a huge wave coming up, Baron buff. And HuaTian loses it all. That's why you have to be patient. I didn't think Vici Gaming, a team that's been playing so slow across the split, was the type of team to just go in with that one advantage, and you can see the confidence just coming out and exuding from the team. The wave clear wasn't there on the side of Rogue Wars, especially without their LeBlanc, and with Baron buff minions coming down, so that was just difficult.
What that game showed me, though, is that Vici Gaming can play through their individual lanes towards these fights. When Jay was set up with, I guess, a difficult position after HuaTian got that first blood, he succeeded nonetheless.
And this is one of those examples of all the advantage that you had on towards your Jayce.
Yeah.
Jiangqiao was able to get all of that. HuaTian did as well, and there were 2 opportunities, and this is one of those rare games that you say that ZWuji messed up early.
Yep.
Because they had their waves pushing out, side lanes were looking good, Vici Gaming were just fishing for a play on towards mid lane, and guess who they kept getting with that fish? It's the same damn fish! That Lucian kept coming right back. It's as if you wanted to die.
Man, old man and Lucian with him as well. Like, that was 6 deaths within the span of 10
It's
minutes.
the oldest trick in the book. In the 50s, Huanggai saw that same play. You have to be seeing that.
Yeah.
And so, like, these are the mistakes that, of course, the young players, the freshmen of the team will be seeing that and have to be figuring that out. And I think this was a great example for them going into Game 3. I think if they go back to that 1-3-1, and here's my fear, I think they should. At this stage in the game, Rogue Warriors are already out of playoffs. They need to be on full lesson mode. Class is in session, right? At this stage of the game, you need to be saying, okay, we're going back to that 1-3-1. Jayce is a great priority pick. Jiangqiao's been playing really good on his Jayce. There's no reason to take it away from him. He's been doing so well in his laning phase.
Go further, though.
But, like, no, I'm not putting this on Jayce. You need to give him the time to go further. I'm speaking for all of the Jayce players out there. All of the Jayce players.
Yeah.
You're just putting on side lane, but deep down, there's that anxiety that my teammate's going to die in the mid lane.
Yep.
And that was the solo queue Jayce fearing for his team's life, and he had all the right to do that.
When I'm talking about going further, though, maybe not even the top side of the map. I saw something out of HuaTian against RNG that I was like, wow, that's great.
Yeah.
If you're going to play a 1-3-1, what is a really good 1-3-1 champion that just absolutely burns in AP damage? You know where I'm going with this?
You're going to say Echo, right?
Yeah, I am.
But look, it shouldn't be a discussion about the champions. The champions were fine. They had a great early game lead. It was just on them. The onus was on the players to be able to play out that situation well.
Yeah. And
I think that, once again, they kept losing that advantage in push because their dual lane died in mid lane. So that's just for me, talking about the dual lane, not that situation. And then they were baited into team fights. And the moment you get put into team fights because it's that stage of the game, it's that Baron time. Sad days.
It is.
Sad days. You have to deal with the Sion. You need to find creativity around, and then you get put in that situation where you're a team fighting LeBlanc.
True.
You have to be like FLICKR level to be able to pull that off.
And you might have to flank. You know, you have to go and look for flanks. Creative pathing always comes into favor with the LeBlanc as well. And HuaTian's just kind of behind the team, hoping for the best.
So at that stage of the game, when you're looking at team fight and you're looking towards the creativity of the players to get them out of that situation, at that point you say, okay, the drafts didn't. I'm not blaming the draft, but I'm saying we picked for this situation. We have already passed that now.
Yep.
Now we're hoping that the players can find a way around that because they had failed their early game goals and objectives.
Still good news here for Vici Gaming, though. Game 2's a win. Game 3 needs to be as well for them to stay in the chance of playoffs. After this, we get our answer with Vici and Rogue Warriors.
死亡仅仅是个开始。
要开了，这边直接开，斯宝这边闪现的，有人中呀，这边回来加速，拉回来恐惧，还是让斯宝神，斯宝这边能够活下来，顶了一下，斯宝这还是倒地了。哎呦，这边的话，阿卡丽回城，然后拯救局面，但是场地有真。
前往死亡吧！
有春哥，这边要杀侍女，狂马这边还没有阵亡，要杀狂马死掉了。这边的话，阿卡丽立功了，而且这木魂的侍女还活着，木魂的侍女一直在输出，狼血里面有1敲4。
怎样的战斗在等待着我？
林时代原地开出个大招，后边阿乐这里是要被挂零。这个位置好像不是特别好啊！第一时间签决率先阵亡，嘎啦这还在不停的输出，嘎啦这边输出环境还不错。后续的话，超过2人之后，配合艾康这边一个输出，嘎啦这边还有半血，后续巴斯一个进场。
断剑重铸之日，骑士归来之时。
嘎啦这边还有半血，后续巴斯一个进场。看一下拜瑟能不能收掉，被打过去了。平 A 还是最后一下，一发 Q 收掉雷克的人头。后续拜瑟这边没有闪现的话，还想再追。一发平 A 再一发进一个惩戒。
来大招直接开大道，然后直接吹风加狂风。
正义好冠冕堂皇之词。别跟动，我别跟动。
然后直接吹风加狂风绝息秒掉了，大招被开出来，而且大招又闪现了，闪现过去之后呢，这个威力非常的强，这也是瞬间被融化以后留在后面，牛头应该走不了，前面希沃尔也倒了，这一波是一个 ace 呀 ，ace 团长最后拿下了，是。
哪里需要我呢？
塔现在很着急，上来刘青东这一波肯定要遭重，没有闪现的情况下交了一个金身，最后被小虎收掉了人头。闪现进来的金构给了大招，但是旁边有一个金身，卡塔闪现脱离之后没有遭到击杀，后续小虎再上来，但是被天晕爆了。
别克！
我的天，这个蟒僧再回去一个挖掘机，东西这边已经被打出了一个复活甲，加里奥也倒了，在等优战，4个人在等他 ，AJ 也没有办法。
哇，这一波金贡跟小天打得太好了。
请让鲜血都流出来吧。
他也需要冰泉去帮他有点小 AOE 推线，3个人想抓的善，
收获之月。多美妙的名字啊！
那善直接被顶出了防御塔，交闪现想去换 Mystic 大招，直接爆死，红怒 Q 回了一口，还转身还想杀 Magic， 落地一个 Rookie， 但是 Rookie 根本就没有蹭到助攻，使得善1v3砍下了一波双杀。